I found these pictures that my mother had saved from when I was a little kid, and they're pretty, you know, pretty weird.
Some things just never change. Nathan Jensen is still concocting weird stuff. His unique stamp is all over Central Texas, in restaurants, this limousine, even children's bedrooms.
You know, it's hard work. People ought to think that art life is easy, but no, it's it's a lot of work to be an artist.
The most recognizable thing he's done is probably the feed mill in Johnson City. It was risky. He was 60 feet up, dangling on rickety makeshift scaffolding.
If I dropped a brush, I could really, you know, see that, you know, it took a long time for the brush to hit the ground. You know, at the time I was, you know, scared of heights, but, you know, I didn't have any money, and
The money problem didn't last long, though. As they say, word of mouth is the best advertisement. His unique characters and his diversity as an artist have meant steady work. His most recent mural is at Highland Park Elementary.
It was kind of a dream come true for me because I'd always had this in mind, but I didn't know how to facilitate it.
Phys ed teacher Dave Woods got his chance at a school fundraising auction earlier this year. He teamed up with some parents to win the bid for Nathan's services.
So Nathan got the idea of making it a fitness puzzle piece that comes all together to make a fit person.
Another recent piece is the surrealist landscape at the new Discount Electronics store. Nathan was hired while the store was being built.
A lot of times with murals, there's a lot of construction crew going on because, you know, the store's not open yet, and, you know, so there was a metal grinder going and a brick cutter going, and, you know, there's a cacophony of sound.
Another challenge? Nathan was busy with one of Austinite Richard Linklater's films.
And then at the time, I was working on the Scanner Darkly movie as an animator.
You're looking at 10,000 years, 400 years, 150 years. You've seen the photo.
Jensen worked for the filmmaker years earlier. He had animated part of Linklater's other film of the same style, The Waking Life.
We should be able to see.
Nathan did this character, Iman Healy.
Hello, and welcome to Brunswick Heads, Australia.
This is home video from Australia. Nathan was living there back in 1992 and 93, and it's where he got started doing murals.
And I didn't have much money, and I didn't have a green card, so I couldn't necessarily have a job. So I got a bucket and a squeegee and started to walk around from place to place and washing windows. And then this one fella asked me, you know, hey, we started talking, can you paint a mural at our place?
Things kind of snowballed, and more businesses requested his eye-popping artwork.
Are you, in fact, planning to return home?
In a number of years.
So he did come back to Austin, and once again, word of mouth took him out of the red.
One thing led to the next. You know, I was doing ad work, and that led to some illustration jobs, and then like the feed mill, that came from an illustration job for Double Dave's, who happened to know the guy in Johnson City.
And so on, and so on. You may have noticed Nathan's characters are a bit oblong and deformed.
Yes, you know, there's a little bit of distortion and bendiness, and hopefully it reflects what's happening at that period in my life.
And even when it comes to the family portrait, note his 4 eyes.
It's kind of capturing that sensibility of, you know, when you have a child, you're experiencing all those emotions at once. You know, you're a little bit happy, a little bit tired, a little bit sad, you know.
But it's going to have to be updated soon. The walls Nathan currently painting are in the bedroom for his soon-to-be second child, getting him started early, too.
What having art around does for a psyche, it can uplift, you know, or maybe there's something that they can relate to that reminds them of something that gives them that extra boost.
In East Austin with your offbeat outlook, I'm Joe Pickett, Fox 7 News Edge.
Right now, Nate is focusing on illustrating children's books.
Yeah, he works out of his home, so it allows him to spend more time with his family. Plus, he says the audience is great.